Ordinary Gods, issue number 1. This is the latest from Image and from the creative talent of Kyle Higgins, who kind of just like made a lot of good shit recently. He's got an ongoing. Is this an ongoing? He's got his own works now, an independent book from him, and it's interesting to say the least. I want to say this. Doing this style of ancient gods, immortal beings throughout time, is not a foreign concept. Like, everyone kind of has their story for this. Like, I know I even have a story when it comes to like godlike people. This is an original. And when it comes to just like all these types of stories being familiar, there is kind of this need to stand out. And that is what these kind of books should be doing. Like, we're all comfortable with these tropes and these stories, but we should be trying to stand out. Now, this book is good. It's very interesting. There's a lot of interesting elements in here, but it isn't different enough from certain stuff in the genre that makes me go, oh yeah, this is, a masterpiece. Let's get into it. We do get the origin to the gods themselves in this story, so let's start there. Basically, like this old world was divided up into 3 places. The place of, strength and sorrow and savagery, I don't know how you say that, but there's these old beings. There's like 12 of them that are the immortal gods of all things, and it's just like, okay, what's gonna happen here? But we see that one of them decides it's time for a change. So this woman, the Liberator, I think is her name? That might be wrong. But one of the female gods decides it's time to change things. We have to change the world for the better, whatever that would be. Let me see if I can find her name here. The Luminary. The Luminary is her name, and she's like, we should go against like the one king because like it's time. So she summons like half of them to join her cause. They fight the other ones, and the Innovator, who's like this ancient one, tries to come up with a device that is going to go against the opposing gods, and it's used against them, and his people are backfired. And then it's kind of just like the evolution of these people, these ancient beings throughout time on Earth, and they take on these different forms, and they can be resurrected in the body of a new person. And it's like, yeah, okay, it's obvious. Like, the Luminary, I'm going to say it right now, the Luminary is resurrected into our main character of this story, who is a man named Christopher. And yeah, it's like, okay, it's a fun concept. If you can make it interesting, that's what I'm here for. Like, I know this stuff. Ancient beings throughout history, starting off here, going there. You're playing with this idea that these 12 people were kind of like these important members of society across all time and space on Earth. And I'm like, okay, that could be fun. But I'm like, you built up, that's the backstory. I don't need anything else for the backstory. There's 12 of them. It's like 6v6 in this never-ending fight. That's literally all I need. I don't need anything else. That works for me. So when we open up this book, it is 22 years in the past. We are seeing this Japanese mafia guy. He's running away from this American assassin, pretty much. It looks like he's about to be taken out, but this assassin somehow manages to hold his own, take out most of this guy's men, and he tracks him to this other room. And right before he's about to get the kill, the other guy gets shot in the head. The Japanese man gets shot in the head by somebody watching that. And we see that in the spirit of this American assassin, before he's killed by this other assassin, is the spirit of the Luminary. So the Luminary is coming back for her rebirth. And then basically, we cut to the present day, and we're seeing this young man who's 22 years old. Of course, the previous event was 22 years ago. We see this man named Christopher who's talking with a therapist about an event that happened to him. We don't really know what it is, but we are starting to realize that it could be something involving his mental health, because he's talking to his therapist. He's just realizing that he doesn't really care about a lot of stuff, and he's thinking, I could have like the white picket fence lifestyle, maybe meet a girl, get a promotion at work, but then I got mortgage payments, and I got to work all that time, and then she's just thinking, like, it'd be easier just to end things, in a sense, is kind of what he's going for, I think. But we learn that this man, Christopher, might be depressed, and he's never actually said it publicly before or out loud, and the event that led him to talk to the therapist was something he did, and he didn't want it to affect his younger sister, so his family lied that he was having his appendix out when he was in the hospital for whatever it is he tried to do to himself. And you're just like, okay, we're establishing this kid has some feelings, and he's looking up at a poster, as this is like how he decided it was time to get help. He's looking up at a poster of a superhero, and he's like, well, I think that's just like the right thing to do, you know, because I'm a hero and all that stuff. And we meet his family, and everyone's having a good time. The sister's on about, like, getting this new book at the mall, and Christopher's going to drive her there. It's like, there's a lot of comic book tropes in here, like the guy reads a comic book about a superhero, you know, like the classic book publishing Harry Potter lifestyle, what they call it, like Billy Marvelous or something. And I get it. I do. Like, you have to put that in there. People like that stuff. I'm okay with it. We see that we at the mall. We got the book for his sister. There's like this like weird machines like, do you want to be Billy Marvelous yourself? Just as like promotion for the book. You can feel like test your strength on this thing. And basically it's just a tester to see if Christopher is the person we're looking for. And of course he is. So when he goes back to work the next day, he's called into like the top floor of this building, and these people are just like, yo, you're special, Christopher. We're trying to help you figure something out. Please let us awaken this thing in you. And he's like, don't touch me. I don't need to hear that. But when he gets touched by one of these people, he sees his past life when he was the Yakuza member, or was it the Yakuza? Just like one of the members of like an ancient life somewhere. He's like, huh, that's weird. What was that? Basically, it's like, okay, the cycle is starting to begin again. And this is the stuff where I'm like, that's cool. I feel like we could push on with this, but if we erase this idea of like Christopher being depressed in this life, I'm going to be upset, because that could be something that makes us a little bit different than the rest of the books in the genre. I hope we stick to it and make it something interesting. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm like, cool, what else you got for me? I'm excited to see how this continues. And we go home, we're having dinner, everyone's just having a good time. But then we see that his sister Danielle's starting to have like these visions of evolution, you know, the creature of the sea becoming the thing on land, evolving into the monkey, and then it becomes primal, and you continue to evolve. And then suddenly the sister stabs Christopher, kills their parents as she's having these flashbacks of man evolving and their need to survive, kills the parents, and she's about to kill Christopher when this man comes in that we met earlier. This is the bearded man. He's like, all right, come with me, Christopher. They kind of take the girl down. Danielle's down for a bit. He takes Christopher, and then we see, like, okay, some more events happening throughout history. Like, the Neanderthal becomes man. We see that it becomes, like, feudal Japan. We see that there's, like, the nuclear explosions, like the atom bomb and everything. And then we continue on there. And this is where we get the reveal that I kind of said at the beginning, that Christopher is the reincarnated version of the Luminary. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of fun. And basically, again, it's like the war of the 6-on-6, and we're seeing like how these people are going to fight each other. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. And basically this guy, we don't really say who it is. I'm going to assume this is the Innovator working with the Luminary here. But it's like, all right, we're going to go try to like stop the end of the world from being destroyed by the evil one king. And that's where the book ends. And, you know, it's not anything special or unique, but again, this is like setting up something that could be unique and special, which is kind of cool. I'm going to give it definitely some more read, see if it's anything worth mentioning. It's fun. It's cool. The logo is fantastic. Like, the logo is a big highlight for me, just because the way the O and the G play off each other looks incredible. It's a cool book. Christopher could become a very compelling lead if they do this the right way. I hope so, because it's kind of fun. So, Ordinary Gods, issue number 1, I'm going to give a 6 out of 10. Now, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.